Man, it's game day, and it's time for us to go through a whole bunch of stuff. Shout out to my Patreon community. You guys have been here for an intro, but I got to give them one anyway. So let's go ahead and get ready to do this thing, man. Do I have? Oh. Here we go.
3rd and 3. Montana looking, throwing in the end zone. It's a madhouse at Candlestick with 51 seconds left.
So now they've got to start from deep in their end of the field, and Garrison Hurst takes advantage of it. He takes the handoff, sweeps to his right, gets to the 20. He's at the 30, needs to cut in. He comes back up the right sideline, breaks the third tackle, comes down to the 30. He's down to the 20. He's down to the 10. He's down to the 5. He's into the end zone. Touchdown! Touchdown! 49ers! 96-yard run from scrimmage. Garrison Hurst.
Young, back to throw. In trouble, he's going to be sacked. No, gets away. He runs, gets away again, goes to the 40, gets away again, to the 35, cuts back at the 30, to the 20, the 50, the 10. He died. Touchdown, 49ers.
7-8, 11's 27-yard line. 49ers into the backfield. Smith on 3rd down. He'll take it himself for a first down. And more. Alex Smith. It's in. Touchdown.
Has left him. 3rd down. Alex takes the snap. Alex looking. Got it. Post. And it's good. Touchdown. Touchdown 49ers. Second down. Ryan takes the snap. Goes to slant to the left side. It's Russell.
Yeah. All right, faithfuls, what's going on, baby? What's going on, baby? What is going on, baby? It is your boy Mike from the Nothing But Niners crew, and guys, we are here to go over the 49ers upcoming game against the Chicago Bears, man. Listen, I had to do something a little spooky because it's scary out here, man. The Niners aren't looking good. We got a tough matchup ahead of us here, and we got a couple of things to discuss. Man. I'm kind of with my man DJ Malone. I'm kind of echoing the sentiment. I expect nothing. And yet I'm still disappointed with the 49ers. Bro, I'm with you, man. It's like I've gone into the last couple of games saying the Niners are going to lose. And I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'll be very straight up front with you guys. I got the Niners losing this game by 1. I do have the Niners losing this game by 1. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Do I want it to be that way? Absolutely not. I would love to be like, yeah, we're going to come out here. We're going to right the ship, and we're going to win. We can kind of right the ship, but that doesn't mean we're going to win. Here's my issue. There's just so much to fix, right? Like there's so much. I'm forever blessed. I promise you I'm going to be positive. There's so much to fix. Like, let's just say today we fix special teams and we fix tackling. What about the offensive woes? No Trent Williams, no Aaron Banks. And I know how they looked last week, but that was in the snow. And the snow helped. So much so that Chris Forrester, our offensive line coach, said so. I wish I could bring 3 inches of snow with us everywhere because my guys had excellent leverage and footing. They just straight up controlled the defensive line. Call your son. Don't do that on your own. So we don't know what to expect from Barch this week. We don't know what to expect from Moore this week, right? So it's kind of like, let's see what's going to happen here. Let's see how things shake out. There is no CMC. There is no Mason. Isaac Guerendo is about to get his first start in the NFL, baby. Make some noise for Isaac Guerendo. Yes, baby. Yes, baby. Yes. Let's go, baby. I'm happy for that man. I'm happy for that man. I'm happy for that man. It gets me excited, right? What rookie is coming in here getting starts without a whole bunch of injuries? Now, the injuries are the bad thing, but I want to see what this guy can do. I want to see what he can do. Let's give him the opportunity. And Abanaconda, who everybody was all excited about bringing in, is inactive today. And speaking of the inactives, let me go ahead and get to it really quick while it's fresh and on my mind. I'm going to share this tweet by my guy Raj, also known as our SF 49ers. All right. He has a tweet right here, and it reads as follows. 49ers official inactive players against Chicago. Quarterback Joshua Dobbs, QB3. More on that in a second. Left tackle Trent Williams, heel. Guard Aaron Banks, concussion. Defensive end Nick Bosa, hip oblique. Linebacker Demetrius Flanagan, fouls. Cornerback Rock Yassin. And running back Israel Abanaconda. Now, why is Israel on here, everyone's asking? Why is he on practice squad? Because we picked him up, and he has to go directly to the 53-man roster. That's why. So he has to be listed as inactive. But the question that you all really, really want to know is, what the hell happened here? Joshua Dobbs is inactive, which means Brandon Allen is the team's backup quarterback.
Excuse me, bitch?
I know. You guys are like, this can't be right. This is a mistake, right? I know y'all are running around screaming right now.
Are you fucking kidding me?
But no, I'm not kidding you guys. I'm not kidding you at all. I'll tell you guys straight up what happened. Kyle Shanahan said that he gives us a better chance to win. Kyle Shanahan said that the reason Joshua Dobbs was the backup last week is because of the weather, and they thought that he would be better suited in that kind of weather to be the 49ers backup. And had it not been for the inclement weather that we were playing in Buffalo, that Allen would have been the backup again. And John Lynch echoed those same sentiments when he was on KNBR before the game. If Brock Purdy wasn't able to go, it would be Brandon Allen's game. Now, he was wrong about that because of the weather, but they still believe that Brandon Allen is better than Joshua Dobbs.
Excuse me, bitch?
Them's the rules. I don't make the rules, guys. I don't make the rules. I just tell you what they are. Okay? So, Joshua Dobbs is out. We'll see how that plays out. Offensive line is going to have to hold up. We're going to have new people out there on the offensive line. We're going to have a new running back. But I didn't see any wide receivers listed on this list. I didn't see Diamador Lenore listed on this list. I know people, does that mean Dre Greenlaw is back? He's still not on the 53. Let's pump the brakes. Dre is still not back yet, and it's okay. I promise you guys it's all right. All right? All right? Okay? Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Wow, there's a lot of close games going on right now. Miami is really about to lose to the Jets. DJ Malone says, why even sign Tanner Mordecai? It's because we had to fill a 90-man roster at the time. And he was an undrafted guy that was available for the taking. That's all. That's all it is. Nothing personal. And look, the truth of the matter is we don't want to see any of these guys that's not the starter. We don't want to see any of these guys that's not the starter. I have a question for the people in the chat, though. If you guys woke up this morning, fortunately, hopefully you guys were able to see the tweet. Ian Rappaport is saying that the 49ers do plan on extending Brock Purdy still this offseason. I just want to know you guys' thoughts on that. I'll click some of the responses. I'm not going to reply to any of the responses. I'm not leading you guys in any way. But they're saying that they do want to indeed extend Brock Purdy. So I want to know what the thoughts are of the people in the chat here. You can just type, one-word responses, phrase, whatever it is that you want. The Niners still plan to extend Brock Purdy this season, this coming season, which means they aren't going to use some of next year to further identify his strengths and weaknesses. They're not going to use next year, even though he's under contract next year and they have the tag and all that stuff that they could put on him. Even though all that's still an option, they don't care. It seems like if that report is true, they've seen enough. They feel, they believe, they know who he is. Forever Blessed says, good. Follow that up with, needs to be a team-friendly deal. Cruz says, I say short-term deal. Bobby T says, yeah, they should re-sign him. We can't overreact to a bad game or two. He's a great QB. My man Cy, what's going on? Cy says no. Cy says yes to a short-term deal. Okay, so y'all are buying the short-term deal. Okay. All right, well, we'll see what happens. I said I wasn't going to respond to any of that. Oh, damn it. And here, now, Bobby, you got to go out here and ask the question. You want to know the answer? Are you sure you want to know the answer? Well, here it is. I would take more time in evaluating Brock Purdy. I don't know if you guys remember, but I started the season by telling people that Brock Purdy needed to be fully evaluated this season. I said for better or worse, regardless of what we feel, we need to see him throw more. We need to see him thrust into the line of fire. I said I know that we have Christian McCaffrey, and I know that we have Mason and Elijah Mitchell maybe. This was early in the season, guys. But we need to see if Brock Purdy is a guy and if he's worth taking that deal. I even stated that I would like to see what he looks like without Trent Williams out there. Damn, I'll be putting my foot in my mouth sometimes in these early season shows. But I was very clear with what I was saying, that I need to see Brock Purdy carry the team and not be carried by the team, right? I thought Brock Purdy was deserving of some MVP votes last year, but did I feel like he should run away with it like the way some other people did? Absolutely not, because I was well aware and conscious of the supporting cast that Brock Purdy had. And so it was one of those things where it's like everything that they were saying why Brock Purdy didn't get the MVP votes was exactly what I was saying I needed to see him without. Everyone was like, anybody can be a Pro Bowl, all-pro, league-leading quarterback if you have Kittle and Ayuk and Debo and McCaffrey. And they just ran down this list of players as if like we were the freaking Avengers, right? But the question was, what does Brock Purdy look like without the Avengers around him? I wasn't completely with him because we do have the Avengers around him. And I don't want to see him without them, but I did want to see him being pushed more. Brock can't help the talent that's around him. If Brock Purdy was dropped onto an all-star roster, which he was, I still need to see him operate well within that. What I was hoping to see was the Niners get ahead by a lot, and they start pulling some of those guys. Hey, Debo, sit down. McCaffrey, sit down. Hey, Trent, sit down. And I wanted to see Brock go out there and still play and distribute and find his guys. Now, I should have been specific when I said I want to see him without Trent and some of these all-stars. I should have specified I didn't want to see it due to injuries or losses in the family and things of that nature, right? I'll work on that for next year. I promise I'll work on that for next year. But by the way, I also said that I expect us to be winning a lot of games. I did not have us at 5-7. I did not have the 49ers with this kind of record. So let me be clear with what I'm saying. It's not all my fault. It's not all my fault. But I just haven't seen enough of Purdy. I think that when it was time for him to step up, he kind of folded. Brock Purdy had people thinking that, let me tell you guys how off Brock Purdy has been this season. Brock Purdy was so off that he had the entire 49, he had 85% of the 49ers fan base believing that Brandon Ayuk could not get open. Brock Purdy has been so off that people have said that George Kittle has vanished. And Kittle had to answer those questions at the podium. I was running a couple of routes, not a lot. And I was open when I was running those routes. Brock Purdy has been so off that people have said we have a first-round wide receiver that doesn't have a reception in 3 straight games, who was brought in to beat man coverage. The head coach comes in and says he beats man coverage. The player himself says, hey, I was brought in to beat man coverage. I'm doing my job. And even Brock Purdy went to the podium and said he was brought in to beat man coverage. I have to find him. I'm just saying that's how off Brock and the team chemistry has been all season long. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So I personally would not extend him this season. I would see him play some more games next year. Just me personal. I'm not 100% on Brock Purdy is not the guy. It feels like he's not. It feels like that third year Kyle Shanahan quarterback love story is over. I've seen this before. I've seen this before. So while I feel that way, I am open to being wrong about that. Does it make sense? Do y'all understand what I'm saying? No? Okay. All right, my bad. My bad. So what are we hoping to see today? Where do we go from here? New offensive line, new defensive line. We finally got our corners back in the secondary together. Demo and Ward back in the mix. That's got to be good, right? It's got to be good. And if those two guys can go out there and lock down these wide receivers, because there's only one wide receiver I'm really worried about on this team, and there's only one matchup in which I think he would cook us. There's only one matchup I'm worried about. It's O'Dunes versus Ward. It's the only matchup I don't want to see. Put him up against Green, Mustafa, Demo. I'm fine with all that. Keenan Allen, taking his cookies. Too slow. Too slow. Taking his cookies. Great route runner. Great route runner. But too slow. We taking his cookies. Minimize the catches. He might finish this game with 7 catches for like 49 yards. You know what I'm saying? Like he's going to be one of those kind of guys. Chain mover type of guy. I think our secondary is going to be so good that our defensive line looks good in this game. That's how I feel. I think our defense, while we are still going to miss some tackles, while we're still going to kind of fall behind a little bit, I think our defense is going to do some things right. They're going to do some things right. Maybe not everything, but some things. All right? I want to play something for you guys here that I saw. And I'm assuming that this is from Fred Warner's podcast, House of Warner. And I'm not going to lie to you guys. This concerned me a bit. So I want you guys to watch this. And then I'm going to see if you guys can figure out what part of it concerned me the most. Okay? Here we go.
What are your predictions for this week's game?
Okay, I predict that you are going to have 1 pick and you're going to punch the ball out once. And then you might tip another pick, but then somebody else will catch it.
All right. This laugh of derision is crazy. He's like, yo, if you don't get that weak ass prediction out of here. Right? First I didn't understand what he was laughing at. You know, let me let it play.
How does that sound? I didn't want to get too overzealous.
Too overzealous?
Go nuts.
Honey, this is the time to go nuts.
Boy, is it.
What do we have to lose here?
Literally.
This is where my problem came in. I know I told y'all to figure it out and tell me, but this is where my problem came in. And by the way, her prediction wasn't terrible.
This week's game.
Okay, I predict that you are going to have 1 pick and you're going to punch the ball out once. And then you might tip another pick, but then somebody else will catch it. How does that sound? I didn't want to get too overzealous.
Too overzealous?
Go nuts.
Honey, this is the time to go nuts.
Boy, is it.
What do we have to lose here?
Literally nothing.
So redo the whole thing. Go crazy.
No, I'm gonna stay where I'm at.
2 picks and a forced fumble.
Yes.
How many tackles?
You better get at least 7. Or you're in trouble. 7 or you're in trouble.
The tackle numbers have been low the last few weeks only because, listen, the ops just haven't been there.
I know everyone's literally on you like white on rice.
That's fine. Let them get on me. Because guess what? These shoulders, they built for it.
Shout out to Fred Warner and the Warner House. You guys should go out there and check that out. From my understanding, it's a pretty dope podcast. So I encourage you guys to go out there and watch it. By the way, I saw this question in here. Where can you go to watch the game, man, with apps or whatever? And just come on over and watch it with us, man. If you're not a part of the Patreon community, man, head on over to patreon.com/NB9ERS, $5 tier and up. $1 tier is for the times when we are on prime time. But $5 tier and up, you can come and join, watch the game with us, have some laughs, have some fun. It's going to be a good time, all right? Patreon.com/NB9ERS. Back to Fred Warner. My issue with this, not the laugh, right? Him and his wife are sitting down talking. I thought that was adorable. I think that's cool, right? I don't have a problem with that. He said, what do we have to lose at this point? And that can be taken one of two ways. It's I'm all in, or it's like I'm all in. We can't afford to lose, so yeah. Or it's like how do I say this without sounding super negative? I'm just stat padding at this point. Tony, give me a thumbs up when you're ready to jump in, buddy. It's like I'm just stat padding at this point. Like that's kind of how I felt when I heard him say that. Tony, did you hear that clip I just played of Fred Warner?
No, I just saw the end where he went like this.
Yeah, so he's talking with his missus. He asked for a stat prediction. She says one punch out. She said one punch out, one interception, and a tip pass that gets intercepted by somebody else. He laughs and was like, "Come on, like, what are you doing? Why are you holding back?" She was like, "Well, I don't want to be overzealous." And then he says, "Well, what else do we have to lose here? Like, what? How do you take that comment from Fred Warner? What else do we have to lose here? Like, just go."
I don't know, man. It's great. This season's crazy. Someone just put in here. I literally just caught it. Paid energy. That's like. I'm not saying 100% it, but when I just saw that, I was just like, okay. I can't see where we're going here. But yeah, like, it's just been a bad year. I don't know what the mindset of this team is. I mean, he's hurt. He's playing on a fractured ankle, I think they said.
Yes, that's correct.
I mean, I don't even know how he's playing, to be honest with you. I'm sure he's getting dolled up before the game, but you just got to sit back and say, all right, when is it not worth it anymore? Like, is he going to do further damage to this ankle where it's going to require him to get an off-season surgery? I mean, I don't know, man.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, from what he just said, I don't know what to take from that. I mean, there's a positive and there's a negative. Right. Unfortunately, previous years, the positive outweighed the negative, but now because of what's happening, the negative is catching up, and it's catching up pretty quick. So
that it is, sir. That it is. And it makes it tough, man. So, Tony, I just got to ask you a question, a couple of things really quick, because we're going to have to jump off of here soon and head on over to Patreon. But I know you said the season's been a weird one. It's been a bad one overall for the 49ers. What are you expecting to see going forward? Like, and when I say going forward, I'm talking about just today. Just today, baby steps. Don't give me season predictions or anything like that. What steps in the right direction can this team take? That doesn't necessarily mean wins and losses. I'm not asking about a prediction like that. What do you want to see that's realistic that we can chart as an improvement from what we've seen these last couple of games?
Compete. That's it. I want to see them compete. I want to see the tackling get better. I just want to see them improve week in and week out. I mean, listen, the season's done. This team's washed. It's done. I don't know what it is. I don't think it's a locker room issue. I don't think it's they don't believe in Kyle. I don't think it's that. I just think like they see the handwriting in the wall. And I think this team came in with the mentality is like, okay, all we got to do is put our shiny gold helmets on and step on the field, and we're going to be okay. And I think they got smacked in the face, and they realized it. And at the point when that happened, between what happened with the holdouts, with the injuries, with this, with that, the distractions, they realized, listen, this is not our year, and it's pretty much it. So basically, I just don't want to see this team quit because I think I don't think they are. I'm not saying they will, but I think if this team quits, I think it's going to be bad. But now on the flip side of it, listening to Don Lynch on the way to work last night on his podcast,
Oh shit!
I think this team might have got an ass chewing last night or sometime over this week or in the last several days. Another interesting fact, Gary Kubiak's around practice a couple days. I think changes. I think, listen, the season's over. Mathematically, they're not eliminated. This team is eliminated, I'm telling you. I think Kyle's going to be sat down and talked to. And I think there's going to be changes and things that he's going to have to do and comply with. And it's only going to be for the better. And that's it. I just want to see this team compete. I just want to see them compete. I basically don't expect them to win today. I'm just going to watch this game to just watch them play, compete, see improvement, even if it's something stupid. Let's say they go from 20 missed tackles to 8. That's an improvement. Let's say if on
only one mistake on special teams instead of 4.
Yeah, one mistake on special teams, one turnover instead of 2, 3. Something. I just want to see positive because I think this team needs positive. But there's like 1% of me that thinks, and don't hold me to this, but there's 1% of me, and it's 1% for a reason because of the injuries with Trent, with Nick Bosa. But if they can get those guys back, and if they can get through this game today and come out with a W, there could be a 1% chance they squeak into the playoffs. There could be. But it's got to be, all the stars got to be aligned and everything's got to be perfect. And that's why I'm saying it's a 1% chance. Because I truly believe this locker room believes in Kyle Shanahan. I don't think they quit on him.
Do you still think that there's a switch? I know like it's kind of the Giants are damned if they do and damned if they don't. What a trash ass team, bro. I'm sorry. Do you like the whole team, the coaching staff, they were kind of talking like, oh, after the bye week we'll be all right. We'll get things cooking. Do you think that there's a switch? Like, are we just waiting for something to click? Are we still there, or is it too many injuries, too many losses for that to now be the case? Like, if everybody was still healthy, I would maybe kind of buy into the switch.
I think it's way too deep. I think it's way too deep. I just think, like, they need positive. There's been no positive in consecutive weeks. It's been just downhill after downhill after downhill. Like it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. More players keep getting keep getting added to the IR list. The list outweighs the freaking roster. Like it's crazy. But because of the NFC West and because of the teams that are involved in the AFC West and because of their situation of being not consistent, there's that 1% chance they could sneak. Do I want them to do it? Hell no. I want a higher pick. I see this as the year when they went in and got Nick Bosa at number 2. They can get a top 10 pick potentially if they lose, they're going to be up there. And they can get another impact player, God willing. Right? So it's going to also help them the turnaround next year. But clearly, I've never seen anything like I'm old. I've been watching football a very long time. I've never seen a season as bad as it is for the San Francisco 49ers. And I'm not even talking about on the field. I'm talking about what off the field shit. I've never seen 2 players on the same team in the same calendar month, 30 days, like within 30. I think it was within a 30-day window that they lost their kids. I've never seen anything like this. And prayers to both their families and stuff like that, but I've never seen it. I've never seen anything like this, Mike. And I've been watching football a long time. And I know you've been watching football a long time, but I'm older than you. So I just never have seen anything like this. There's a cloud over this team, and it needs to get I don't know. I think they need to move back to San Francisco, knock that fucking stadium down if you want to know the truth, but that's just me.
Steve-O, you're blocked, bro. You are no longer allowed to post comments in this chat from now on. I am an Ohio State fan and a 49ers fan, and I'm telling you, you are a billion times wrong on this one. You're blocked, buddy. You're blocked. All right, Tony, man, we gotta get ready to get up out of here. Before we do, though, we do have a few more minutes that we can spare. We do have a few more minutes. I'm trying to get everything set up in the other room here, though, so bear with me. I think that's ready to go, and that should be ready to go. All right. With the way things are going and with John Lynch's mindset, I don't know if you listened to the same KMBR thing, but he had a couple of things for Sorensen. We aren't swarming. We have to do the fundamentals. We aren't finishing. Right? It was like, to me, it was clear shots at the coaching staff.
Correct.
I think that John Lynch, in his background, he thinks the defense is supposed to carry an offense. I think Kyle thinks, with his background, an offense is supposed to carry a defense, which to me is why I thought they would work together so well.
Yes.
With John Lynch watching this brand of 49ers defensive football, would you say that he may still, at this moment right now, prioritize another defensive lineman over an offensive lineman for the first-round pick? And I know we're really early and far away from the draft, but I want to know what you think the GM thinks.
I think he'll invest in the defensive line.
Yeah.
I think he will. Yeah. I think it's going to come down to the best player available. And I'm starting to try to work on things with my crazy work schedule. But I mean, listen, there's going to be a lot of decent pieces in this draft that they could, and if they keep their picks, God willing, they could, if they have a draft like they did last year, this year again, for this season, I think the recovery window will be smaller than it would be bigger if they miss.
All right.
But clearly, they're in 100% evaluation mode today for the future of this team, I think, personally.
Yeah, I'm with you there, buddy, man. All right, guys, that's going to do it for us here. We want to thank you all for checking us out. We are heading on over to patreon.com right now for the games. Make sure you guys do that. Patreon.com/NB9ERS. We're going to be going live there in less than 2 minutes there. And let's have some fun, baby. Go now.